Good day. Devastating news continues to emerge from Kwara State, where survivors of the Kaiama massacre are speaking out with chilling revelations about warnings that were allegedly ignored. According to exclusive reports published today, residents of the Woro community say they spotted terrorists hiding in bushes months before an attack that claimed 170 lives, but their desperate warnings to the Kwara state government fell on deaf ears. The attack happened on Tuesday evening around 5 in the evening and continued through the night into Wednesday morning. Boko Haram-linked terrorists stormed the Woro village in Kaiama local government area, opening fire on residents, burning down homes and shops, and abducting women and children. What makes this tragedy even more painful is that, according to multiple residents who spoke to journalists today, the community had been sounding the alarm for months before the massacre took place. Young people in Kaiama had noticed unfamiliar armed men camping in the bushes surrounding their communities, and they did exactly what responsible citizens should do. They reported what they saw to their traditional rulers, local government officials, and the state government. But according to these survivors, no meaningful action was taken despite their consistent warnings about suspicious movements and the presence of armed strangers in nearby forests. What adds another layer of horror is that about 5 months before the massacre, the terrorists actually sent a letter to the district head of Woro, Alhaji Salihu Umar, telling him they planned to come and preach in the community. The district head forwarded this letter to the Kwara State Emirate Council in Ilori, which then requested that soldiers be deployed to Woro. But the protection never came in time or in sufficient strength to prevent what happened. When the terrorists finally struck, they showed no mercy. The violence lasted for hours as families tried to hide and some people ran into the bushes to escape. By Wednesday afternoon, search and rescue teams were counting bodies. The official death toll stands at 170 people. 78 corpses, including 75 males and 3 females, have already been given mass burial. Among the dead was a former student union leader from Kwara State College of Nursing. 35 residents, mostly women, were abducted and taken into the forest. Governor Abdulrahman Abdulrazak visited the community on Wednesday alongside top security chiefs. He said the victims were killed because they refused to surrender to what he called a converted form of Islamic doctrine. The villagers stood their ground against the extremists' attempt to impose their ideology, and they paid for that resistance with their lives. If you're watching this and you want to stay updated on important developments affecting our nation, please take a moment to subscribe to this channel and turn on your notifications. President Bola Tinubu has now deployed an army battalion to Kaiama district in response to the massacre. The Kwara State Police Command has launched a full-scale investigation to track down the perpetrators. Joint security teams are on the ground trying to prevent further attacks and reassure residents of their safety. But for the survivors, these responses feel like too little too late. They are asking the painful questions that many Nigerians are asking today. Why were their warnings ignored? Why did it take 170 deaths before serious action was taken? Could this massacre have been prevented if someone in authority had listened when the community first raised the alarm? Security experts are warning that this attack is part of a broader pattern. Jihadist groups, including Boko Haram, are pushing southward from the north toward the Kainji forest, which analysts fear could become their next major stronghold. Just weeks before the Woro massacre, hundreds of people were killed in similar attacks on the Niger State side of the same region. For the families burying their loved ones today, these aren't just statistics. These are fathers, mothers, sons, daughters, neighbors, and friends whose lives were cut short. What happened in Woro demands answers, accountability, and concrete action to ensure that when Nigerian communities raise the alarm about threats to their safety, someone in power is listening and ready to respond before tragedy strikes.